Conestoga Golf Club is located an hour north of Las Vegas in the quiet town of Mesquite, Nevada. This 18-hole championship course, designed by Gary Panks, accentuates the natural features of the landscape, offering spectacular views at every turn. This course plays just over 7,200 yards from the tips and offers its fair share of challenges. I had the pleasure of playing around with 3 locals, Craig, Larry, and Rick, who were kind enough to show me the ropes and give me all the tips and tricks needed to score well on this beautiful track. The 10th hole can be kind of intimidating because it's a par 3 that requires you to carry some water in order to hit the green. Fortunately, there's plenty of room short and right if you don't feel confident going for the green off the tees. If you do feel confident going for the green off the tee box, it's important to note that there is a stream just beyond the green, so you don't want to go long. The smart play here is to take plenty of club and aim at the right edge of the green. Try to ignore the water. Remember, positive thoughts only. So pick a target, step up to your ball, and make a nice, smooth, confident swing. The 11th hole is the second highest handicap on the entire course. It's a long downhill par 4, playing just about 500 yards from the tips. The most difficult thing about this hole is getting on the green in 2. Like many other holes at Conestoga, the tee boxes are isolated, surrounded by desert, so it's critical that your tee shot makes it to the fairway. It's important to note the bunker on the left side of the fairway because that is reachable from the tee boxes. Just aim right at that a few yards and put a good swing on it. If you have a good tee shot, your approach shot's pretty straightforward. There's not really anything to be concerned about. Just figure out how far you are from the center of the green and take enough club to get you there. If you have a tendency to miss right, it's important to note that there are 2 bunkers to the right of this green, one at the front edge and one at the back edge. Just aim left to center, there's plenty of room to miss left. The 12th hole is a fairly long and narrow par 5, and yet another hole where a good tee shot is critical. There isn't much reason to try and go for this green in 2 because there is so much trouble that you could get into, so it's important to try and plan your shots so that you're leaving yourself with a comfortable distance for your approach shot. Ideally, you'd be taking your 3rd shot just to the left of where this net gets narrow. As you can see, this is another hole that requires a good tee shot just to get to the fairway. The bunker that you can see there on the left is reachable from the tee boxes, so you're going to want to be right at that. You have a little room to go right because it's a pretty good poke to reach the desert there on that right side. From there, you're going to want to aim kind of at that bunker that you can see up there on the left side of the green. You want to keep it in the fairway, but the further left you are, the better your angle into the green will be. I would recommend playing a short enough club that you can't reach that sand trap just right of that neck. Your approach shot is pretty straightforward. There is a bunker guarding the left side of the green, but there's plenty of room to go long and right. The 13th hole is a fun par 4 that plays a little longer than posted because it is slightly uphill. That bunker just to the right of the fairway is in play from the tee boxes, so as long as you keep it just left of that, you're in good position for your approach shot. You can see from this angle that there's desert right behind the green, so you want to make sure you don't go long. It can be a little hard to tell from the tee boxes, but the fairway does open up a little bit to the left. As long as you keep your tee shot left of that bunker on the right side of the fairway, you're going to be in pretty good position for your approach shot into the green. Now remember, this hole is playing uphill, so it will play a few yards further than whatever distance you shoot to the pin. Just be sure that you take enough club to get yourself to the center of the green. You don't want to be left on this hole, and you don't want to be long. Short and right is the safe play. The 14th hole is a fun little par 3 that requires an accurate tee shot because you have desert from the tee boxes all the way to the green. If you don't happen to make it to the green on your tee shot, there's a drop area that you can see there just short and right of the green. There's a little bit of room to be short, but there's no room to be long. It's a little downhill, so take enough club to get to the front edge of the green, and that should be plenty. It's better to be short than long. The 15th hole is a fairly long par 4, but it's playing slightly downhill with elevated tees, and generally the wind is at your back, so it doesn't usually play as long as it says it is. It's helpful to note that the fairway will kick your ball to the right, so it's okay to aim down the left edge of the fairway. Yet again, this hole will require a good tee shot in order to make it to the fairway. Because your ball is going to roll to the right just a little bit, you're going to want to aim at the tree that's on that little peninsula just on the left side of the fairway there. From there, you've got a pretty straightforward shot into the green. It's important to note that the left side is almost entirely guarded by bunkers, so you're going to want to keep the ball right just a little bit. Short and right is the safe miss here. You don't want to be long and left. The 16th hole is the final par 5 of the course, and maybe the only par 5 where going forward into isn't a terrible idea. There's not a lot of trouble to get into other than a few sand traps around the green, so it's possible that your third shot might be a little sandy, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Regardless if you're going to go for this green in 2 or make it a 3-shot hole, you're going to want to make sure that your tee shot is well left of those fairway bunkers on the right there. If you're going to go for the green in 2, you're going to want to aim over that first bunker on the left and let your ball run up onto the green. If you're going to go for it in 3, aim at the bunker on the right and hit whatever club is going to leave you your ideal distance for a wedge shot into the green. The bailout is short and left. It's important to note that this green is 2-tiered, so you'll want to pay attention to which tier the flag is on and try and put your approach shot onto that tier. The 17th hole is the second signature hole at Conestoga and one of my favorite holes in golf. There's a wash that splits the fairway and requires a skillful approach shot in order to hit a protected green. This tee shot isn't as much about distance as it is accuracy. Hitting it too far can result in the ball rolling out of bounds into the wash. However, if you keep it too far left, your second shot will be blinded by that outcropping of rock there on the left side of the fairway. For your second shot, you'll want to aim at the right third of this green, and it's okay to be short here. You do not want to be left, and you don't want to be long. It's a challenging green to hit, so it's important that your tee shot sets you up for the best chance of success on your approach shot. The final hole at Conestoga is one that appears to be easy, but is rated the 4th most difficult hole on the property. Both of those bunkers on the left and right side of the fairway are reachable from the tee, and if you get into them, they leave you a very long bunker shot into the green. Double check how far you are from those bunkers when you go to tee off, because depending which box you're playing and if the wind is at your back, it might be possible to carry those bunkers. If it doesn't look like you'll have the distance to carry those bunkers, aim right in between those 2 bunkers and just try and hit a good tee shot. From there, you'll have a pretty long approach, but at least you won't be hitting out of the sand. Aim just to the right of the bunker that's in front of the green, as the right side of the green is deeper than the left side. I hope all this information helps you score your best when you go to play Conestoga Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. I'd like to give a special thank you to Conestoga for letting me come and film and play around at their beautiful course. If you ever get a chance to go out to Mesquite, I highly recommend playing this course. It is absolutely incredible, and everyone working there was thoroughly enjoyable. And I'd like to thank those of you who stuck around to watch this whole video, and if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also comment what course you'd like to see me do next.